last time I studied Scottish was in high school, and we took a year of Scottish along with a year of Spanish and French. But I've forgotten most of my Scottish, but I'll try to keep up.
Well, we were actually looking into your name, McAfee, because obviously it has Scottish root, and it's actually
Irish.
So it's actually Irish. Okay.
And yes, it is.
Interesting. Because
Sorry, I think that the reason that it's Irish is that my ancestors were deported from Scotland for stealing sheep to Ireland, and so we're sheep people in this family.
Well, my ancestors are from Ireland, and they had to flee Ireland because of the famine, the potato famine. And I have no idea why, Stevie, what happened to your family?
My family are a very lost people. My family. It's best we don't talk about my ancestry or my background, and let's just focus on me for the fact that I am a wonderful human being, John.
Okay.
All right.
So, John, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's a bit surreal, you know.
Thank you.
You're world famous. You've got 1.1 million followers. Everybody knows who you are. And for us,
I'm not sure everybody knows who I am, but thank you.
But for us, people are not going to know who we are, and we might as well just give an introduction to who we are for people who might be watching us. We're extreme polls, and basically what we do is on Twitter we ask people ridiculous, fantastical questions to see what people may or may not do for money. It's not always money, sometimes it's maybe a superpower or something else. It's just that trade-off between what motivates people and what's the threshold of how much money to do a certain thing. And I watched your interview with Richard Hart, and you said in the interview, which was really interesting, you said that making money in cryptocurrency is very dear to your heart.
Very dear to my heart?
Yeah, very dear to your heart, or something close to your heart, like making money in crypto is close to your heart.
Well, I wouldn't say making money in crypto is close to my heart, but I would say crypto is definitely close to my heart. I think that people looking at crypto as a way to make money is counterproductive and missing the true value of crypto. Because the true value is in its utility, using it to purchase or sell goods and services. And that's not being done now very much. And yet you can buy anything you want with crypto: houses, cars, bulletproof vests, you name it. And yet people are looking at crypto as simply a means to get rich. Mm-hmm. But yet it's a means to free us from the burden of a corrupt government, the illegal income taxes, the surveillance state monitoring everything that you do with your money, which is none of their fucking business. Mm-hmm. When it's dear to my heart, I would say that the utility of it is very dear to my heart. Making money, make money in anything you want, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, we've started using Brave browser, the Brave browser and the basic attention token. We like that idea because it's at least giving content creators, original content creators, a way to, make a little bit of money on the side, make a little bit of basic attention, but also get into the infrastructure that is, having your own wallet, having some crypto. The Uphold wallet is good. It's a nice entry level way of getting people into crypto by just having their browser, built in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So massive option.
I think all browsers will eventually have crypto capabilities built into it. I mean, that's very obvious. The advantages of the blockchain and cryptocurrency are so obvious that only a fool would
check out these results.
Yeah. Stevie, do you have any crypto?
I do not have any crypto, no.
Shocking. No crypto.
All right.
I've got some.
Some would say sloppy.
John, I must confess, I bought into crypto and it was about November 2017. Watched a few YouTube videos, and it kind of, the penny dropped in my head. I was like, wait a minute, I don't need a bank. Why have I lived my whole life?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You are your own bank. If your crypto wallet is your bank.
Yeah.
You want to send a wire, you don't have to get out of bed, go to the bank, fill out forms, get approval, sign your name, tell them what it's for, and then go back home. No, you just say what's your wallet address, send it to them, and then go back to watching TV or making love to your spouse or whatever you're doing.
John, do you remember the first time you used Bitcoin?
First time I used Bitcoin.
To send to send to another address.
But it depends on what you mean by use. I mean, I ran MGT, which was the sixth largest Bitcoin miner in the world, starting in 2014, 2015. And is that using a Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, we mined tens of thousands of them.
Yeah.
So then we sold them as a company. Me personally, and from my wallet, my account, I can't remember. About the same time.
Uh-huh.
But study it and follow it, of course. I mean, that's what any sane person should have been doing and still should be doing.
I went to, years ago, for the Scottish independence referendum in 2014. Someone you might know, Max Kaiser.
Well, I don't know him personally.
Okay.
I know who he is, of course.
He came to Scotland and he gave like a big talk about Scottish independence. And me and my cousin went to see it. And he says, guys, you need to buy Bitcoin. And this was like 2014. And to this day, it's a sour thing to remember. He was like, you must buy Bitcoin. And me and my cousin are going, yeah, good, okay, but Scottish independence, that's the important thing here. And I think it was about 300 and something maybe at the time. Can't remember, but it's so cryptocurrency and extreme polls are definitely a good partnership in the future for original content creating, satire, comedy, all that stuff, podcasting. The only way forward with it, I think, is cryptocurrency.
Yeah, well, it's changing the world, and you haven't seen anything yet, really.
Yeah.
This is just the tip of a green shoot, just barely emerging from the earth, and it will grow into a mighty tree. So, just buckle your seatbelts, folks.
John, I seen in the last the interview with Richard Hart, because I like Richard Hart a lot. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's intelligent. He speaks very eloquently, as do you, about crypto. But you were drinking a gin that changed colour during the.
I did what?
You were drinking gin that changed colour.
Oh, that changed colour. Yeah, it's Australian gin, and the name of it is Ink. I-N-K.
Hold on.
A friend of mine, just say gin, ink, or ink
Ink gin.
It's gotta come
Husk
up.
Distillers.
Pardon?
Is it called from Husk Distillers?
It's what?
It says 2 seconds. I think I found it. Husk Distillers. No?
Oh, okay.
I think it's that. I don't know.
I
Regardless.
have no idea. It was given to me by a friend. I drank it. It was good.
It's funny, John. I don't know. Does your dad drink gin?
He's not a gin drinker. My dad's very much big on wine.
In Glasgow, it's a very working class city. And all the guys, all the men, basically when I was growing up, my dad, they'd all drink lager. Just beer, lager. But there's an evolution taking place in Scotland right now where people are basically starting to drink gin. Men are starting to drink gin a lot more, and it's funny. It's good.
It's a big trend.
Listen, I drink anything that people hand to me. I'm not picky.
Absolutely.
I have a few favorites. I like Scotch, single malts, obviously.
Oh.
Irish whiskey, rum, tequila is one of my favorites.
Tequila. Nice.
That's some good stuff.
Tequila's alright.
I love tequila, but bad experience one time. You'd have to offer me a lot of money to go back to tequila.
Well, they're very cheap tequilas that are just, that do the same thing. I mean, the magic of tequila is, it's whatever's in the mezcal cactus that it's made from. Some strains, very subtle, hallucinogenic, and whatever that chemical is leaches into tequila. That's pretty magical. There's only one way to drink tequila. You can't mix it. You drink straight shots. You take a lick of salt, shot of tequila, and a bite of fresh lime.
Oof.
And that's how you drink it. And you'll get an experience far different than any other alcohol on the planet.
I'm having flashbacks to...
I'm sorry?
I'm having flashbacks to nightclubs at 4 a.m.
Yes.
Thinking, oh, this will be a good idea. John,
Yes.
so basically, we're kind of thinking on our feet about how to conduct an interview with you because of who you are and what you do, and we've got polls for you, and I think it would be good if we chat, but then just ask you polls that we think you might, like just to get your opinion on some of the stuff. We've catered some.
Hey, whatever you guys want to do, I'm just hanging. I'm just chilling
Awesome.
with you guys right now.
Just vibing.
And
So-
if you want to structure this in a question and answer format, I'm happy.
No.
And if you want to just chat, I'm happy. Listen,
I like that we're
I'm
just
a
chatting.
going motherfucker, right?
Definitely. You in Scotland, we'd say you're an extreme polls man. You just like to chat, have fun, and do you know the word, John? The word patter. Do you use that in the US?
I'm sorry?
The word patter. Patter.
Never heard of it.
Never.
In Scotland, right? Patter means your intelligence, your wit, your sense of humour. So if you've got good
Okay.
patter, you're a cool guy to hang about with.
Patter. Awesome! I learned a new word.
So
Thank you.
you've
Patter.
got
Yes.
you've got good patter, is what I'm saying.
Well, thank you. All right.
So here's the first poll that we'll ask you, right? And we thought about this carefully because I see you smoke cigars all the time. So
Yes.
if we offered you 500 bitcoins, but you can never smoke another cigar for the rest of your life, would you take it or leave it?
No, I don't do anything that restricts the liberty of any future behavior of mine. Because I have no idea what I'm going to want to do a month from now. I mean, right now I go, yeah, that sounds good. But a month from now I'm going, why the fuck did you take those 500 bitcoins? Because someone just offered you a Cohiba that was hand rolled in 1961.
Oh,
Well, so, which would take 500 bitcoins to even fucking buy. So no, I wouldn't take that.
love it.
But thanks for the offer.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. That's exactly what we thought you might say because you're clearly a Cuban cigar connoisseur or whatever cigar connoisseur.
John, when was the last cigar that you actually smoked? Did you have one today?
You're cutting out a little. Your audio is cutting out a little. Maybe
Go for it again.
are you near the mic? Okay.
John, when was the last cigar that you smoked? Did you have a cigar today?
I have not had a cigar since we left Cuba. And 4 days later, we're jailed in the Dominican Republic, and I haven't had a cigar since then. I'm in a location where you wouldn't want to smoke any cigar that you could actually get here. So, no, I haven't had one in 4 months.
Oh, that's shocking. We need to get one to you. Smuggle it. Can we do that,
You
Stevie?
can't, because I'd have to tell you where to send it.
Exactly, I
That
know.
would give
That's a
you-
good point.
That would give you at least, even if I just told you what part of the world, send
Yeah.
it to South Asia, that would be too close to comfort for me. So,
Absolutely. It's funny. My cousin, the third guy that's part of this project that we do, he's in Ukraine, and we don't really know what he's doing, but we think that he's hanging about with Hunter Biden.
It's just
with who?
Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son.
unconfirmed rumours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we don't know.
Is he a fun person to hang with?
John, I think you would have the best time with my cousin. I think you
Really?
would. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Biden's son.
Oh, Biden's son. All right.
Yeah. I'm sure your cousin's going to be great to hang with. No, I was asking if Joe Biden's son was worth
I don't
hanging
know.
with.
Well, there was
Other than for saying I hung with Joe Biden's son. You know, it doesn't carry much weight with people like me.
There was a recent scandal with Joe Biden's son because he was doing deals in Ukraine, and Donald Trump said that no, I don't know anything about this. And then there's let me get this right. Let me be fair to Donald Trump. Let me be fair.
Listen, I know all about this. Let me tell you what was happening.
Okay, do it.
So first of all, let's look at the Ukraine. Ukraine has a relatively new president. The president, just prior to being elected by a fucking landslide, almost 80% of the vote, spent the previous 4 years starring in a Ukrainian sitcom, a television situation comedy, where he portrayed the president of the Ukraine. And he was fabulous. He was exactly the type of president you would want. It's like, I've seen those with English subtitles. They're fucking hysterical. So you could see how you'd want that for president. But keep in mind, that man's a fucking actor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was acting the part that made you love, right?
Yeah.
And he's now the president of the Ukraine. So right off the bat, you've got something fairly unique in recent human history. Okay, so now you've got this guy. Now, he's probably as lost as the day is long. And, you know, he appears an actor, a young guy, not like Ronald Reagan when he became president. Oh, a young guy. And then along comes Joe Biden's son, not by himself, but in a business relationship with a Ukrainian businessman that wants to do business in the Ukraine, right? And the Ukrainian government was not, no, we don't think we want to do this. So Joe Biden's son's father, Joe Biden, calls the president of the Ukraine and tries to strong-arm him. The president concedes and lets Biden's son do his thing. Now, Trump knows this. Everybody knows this. But Trump's trying to bring attention to it. And now they're saying Trump is twisting the arm of the Ukrainian president to turn over all of this devastating information about Biden's son. This is the morass. I would say, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Don't even think about it. It's utter fucking nonsense. It is a play put on for the benefit of the world public to keep our attention away from the real pile of shit that we're living in.
Yeah.
Now, that's my summation. If you have a better one, please tell me.
I don't think we have a better way. I think we should offer you another poll. I think number 4.
Yes.
Let's see.
Now, what we want to ask you here, John, is this poll. Now, smoking and drinking will have no negative effects on your health or well-being, but you are banned.
What has no effects on your health?
Smoking and drinking will have no negative effects on your health.
Oh, that's true. I've been doing it my whole life. Absolutely.
However,
it has never affected me.
So then you don't even need to.
We all know that. I mean, listen. they people who say that drinking and smoking is bad for your health are those uptight, religious assholes that can't see beyond the narrow pages of their religious texts. And the religious texts don't have anything about kicking back and partying, going to Bangkok and discovering sex in ways you've never dreamed of, anything like this, right? So they can't tolerate the fact that people who live outside of the bounds of these narrow pages might be having a fucking blast. So they go, we can't stop them because they're going to do it. So they're going to kill you. They are bad for you. Don't do this. But I am living proof. I mean, for years on end, drinking 2 or 3 bottles of scotch, single malt, awesome shit every day, plus smoking 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes, plus as many cigars as I can stuff in between the drinking and cigarette smoking. I'm 74. I'm here to tell you that I'm alive because I party hard.
Okay.
So I agree with you fully. So you made that statement. I agree. What's your question now?
The actual question was, and it's funny. The question was is that we would offer you that smoking and drinking would have no negative effects, but you could never own or use another gun again for the rest of your life. However, seen as smoking and drinking have no negative effects on your health, then there's no point to that.
Listen. Well, I was going to say, okay, well, so basically what you're saying is you're offering me what I already have.
Yes,
If I would give up guns. I will tell you something now. Not until human nature turns inside out and human anger and jealousy and envy and fear and all the shit on the negative side of us, you eradicate that from my fellow man and I will give up my weapons. Mm-hmm. Until then, not a rat's chance in hell for anything would I change or give up my weapons.
Do you know what, John? See when we make these polls, right? When we make extreme polls and we make these questions, often we ask them to people and you never really get the answer that we intended. And you've just answered one of our polls probably the most perfect way possible.
Very clinical.
Because on the outset, it seems like quite a trivial question. But really, you've just given us one of the most profound answers to a question that you could ever have. You know, so thank you very much for that. It's awesome.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Listen, okay, I know what's coming. Every time I get flattered like you're buttering a slice of bread, I know what's coming. You want something from me, which is okay.
No, I mean, there's some bad luck.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
There's actually, see, to be honest, John, they're actually all good. They're actually all good. They're all high quality polls.
Yeah.
But by the way, do you drink beer at all? Do you ever drink beer?
Do I drink what?
Beer.
You know, once. I mean, I was left alone in the desert for 3 days without water. I had a case of beer. And I was hoping that someone would come and bring me either a bottle of tequila or a glass of water. And just before death, I finally opened the bottle of beer and drank it. That's how much I like beer.
Yeah.
John, can I just ask you?
I don't drink beer often. It's not. I don't understand the purpose. I don't know what you guys drink it for. But I would assume, since it's got alcohol, you would drink it so you would feel a little more mellow and a little more relaxed and that being a party spirit. I can drink 10 cases of beer and I can't feel the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Do you think John here would like Innocent Gun?
Probably.
What's that?
There's a beer from Scotland that we drink. It's called Innocent Gun.
Yeah.
It's a nice beer.
Yes.
It's a nice beer. We love it.
It is. It's well behaved, is it?
Well, the beer is, but I'm not.
I actually agree with what you say, John. I don't think that. I think beer, like you're saying, it doesn't really have such an effect on me. I mean, clearly I couldn't drink 20 crates of it and be okay, but I do prefer spirits. I just enjoy them more, and I love single malt whiskey.
Okay, well, I understand, but you're talking to a man who drinks 3 full quarts of scotch a day sometimes, some days, and 2 frequently, and at least 1 almost every day. How in the fuck am I going to feel beer?
True.
So I don't, and that's the issue, which is why I don't drink it. I'm going, why do people drink this stuff?
True. Do we have any polls about whiskey? We must have one about whiskey.
I'm sure we do, Sean.
Find one about whiskey.
I'm sure we
While we're on the topic, we can do one about whiskey.
I'm sure we do. There is one about whiskey here.
Somewhere. No, it's not there.
I thought we did have a whiskey one as well.
Right, I don't think we had a whiskey question. But anyway, I agree with you. In single malt, you're totally on the money. It's just the difference is.
No, I'm not dissing beer drinkers at all. All I'm saying is, it's like drinking water for me.
What about this one,
And all
John?
it makes me do, and listen, if I had to drink enough beer to actually get me high, I would be pissing nonstop, standing at a urinal all night long, rather than enjoying myself with women or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the issue.
I would say the reason most people drink beer is because the volume, it gives you something in your hand when you're in a pub, you know?
Well, you're doing a lot of talking.
Probably. I think that's probably more the reason why. Because it's definitely not the best
But you
drink.
can, listen, what you can do, I mean, I don't know if you've tried this, but you can pour the beer out and then fill it up with Glenfiddich 21 and just do the same fucking thing.
Smash it. A pint of Glenfiddich. That's an extreme poll. A pint of Glenfiddich.
John's coined it.
What about this one, John? Right, we will offer you the power of invisibility, but you must go vegan for the rest of your life.
No, fine, you go vegan. What's the benefit of going vegan?
I don't know.
Go vegan?
I mean,
No, what do I get? What do I get for it?
invisibility.
You will be invisible.
You'll be able to turn
A what?
invisibility. The power of
Invisibility.
yes,
Yes.
you'll just be able to go like that and be invisible.
Let me tell you something about invisibility. Anyway, so
Okay, you're back.
okay, let me tell you about invisibility. Not long after I made a fortune at McAfee, I've had multiple entrepreneurial companies and made a fair amount of money. I don't know why. I'm sort of a crazy motherfucker. I started going to California in the summer times, going to Goodwill, which is the place that sells clothes to poor people and derelicts, or sometimes gives them out. Get a ragged old coat, a ragged hat, ragged everything. Wait till after dark, and go downtown in one of the many cities lining the beach in California, and panhandle on a main street. Put a sign up. I'll give you an example. So the very last time I did it, which is why it stuck so much in my head, was in Ventura, California. I had my hat, this ragged old coat, I got a cardboard box and then a sign that said, "Broke and Stupid." I put that up against the box. Then I took 5 $100 crisp brand new bills and put them in a fan shape around the box. Okay. Now, why did I do that? Well, I love fucking with people. The first people to come by were a couple of Hispanic gangbangers, and one young kid, I could see it in his eyes. He looks at me. He's just trying to grab the money. As I'm some old man who was beating me up. But an older kid grabs him, whispers something in his ear, and then they all wander off. I think he whispered, "Are you stupid? You know that's a cop. $500 on it. Please get real." But no, I wasn't a cop. I'm just stupid. So anyway, so here's what happens. Talk about invisibility. 99% of the people that pass you will not look at you. It's like you don't exist. Why? Because if they were to look at me, I might go, "Can you spare a dime?" Or have some sort of true intercourse with them on a human level of, "Yes, this is me, this is you," and so on. No, they just pass you by. You are subhuman. You're not part of society. Even if, and I would do it always, everybody would pass, "Can you spare some money, sir?" No fucking reply. As if I don't exist. Not only can they not see me, apparently, they can't fucking hear me. Now, I did this for years. Why? Because I am an egotistical motherfucker. And I think that I am not God, but God's advisor, controller. This is what's in me. Now, if I let that shit run wild, you wouldn't be having on this show, I promise you. So I would purposely, all of my life, do things to humiliate myself so that I would understand who I really was. Because these people are nothing. And to the rest of the world, what am I? I'm just a name.
Mm-hmm.
A name.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Name. Nothing. It's all the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that would keep my ego in check. Anyway, he said invisibility. I know already how to be invisible. But if you add some things to that, I might take it because I've been vegetarian. I was vegetarian for 7 years. Fuck, I can do that. Actually, I eat vegetarian a lot just spontaneously. So yeah, but the invisibility part. Now, if I want to be invisible, I'm going to just dress my ass down and get dirt on my face, maybe rub shit on my shoes, and nobody will ever see me.
John, can I ask a question here?
No, I'm sorry, you can't.
Fine, I'm I'm putting my place. I'm going to assume. Thank you for that, John. I did want to ask, when you were vegetarian, how much did you ever miss McDonald's? Was that a big craving that you missed?
How much did I miss with what?
How much did you miss a McDonald's when you were vegetarian?
Okay, you're cutting out on me again. Miss Janice? Who has ears? Janice? Help me.
Yes.
Repeat the question to young, and very clear ears, and she will help me out.
Okay, what is the question?
I would tell you, but I can't hear it, so you're going to test them.
Okay. The question was, John, when you were vegetarian, how much did you miss eating at McDonald's?
When you were a vegetarian, how much did you eat at McDonald's? Yes?
How much did you miss eating
No,
McDonald's?
how much did you miss eating at McDonald's?
Nothing. Listen, I do not miss trivialities like taste, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I lived in the jungles of Belize and ate things you would not fucking believe that crept out of the river or fell out of the fucking trees. No, I didn't miss it at all. But I did, though, oddly enough, that you said McDonald's. I did wake up one morning. I was in Rochester, New York at the time, at the very last day of my vegetarian sojourn. I wasn't expecting it. I had no problems in life. I just woke up, was driving to the office at Xerox, and I stopped at McDonald's and ordered 2 Big Macs. Ate them both on the spot, and that's the last of the vegetarianism.
That sounds like Stevie's dream. The dream day.
What's that?
That's Stevie's dream day, to eat 2 Big Macs in one day. That's his dream.
John,
His dream.
John, I am a greedy
I'm just
greedy
saying.
man.
And that's a good segue onto this one, which is fun. And actually, because you actually know things about physics, yes, you're pretty
I know things about what?
physics, science, physics.
Maggots?
Physics. See, it's my Scottish voice.
I'm fucking
I know you are so fucking with this.
No, I'm like fucking with it.
What you said.
What?
You said physics.
Physics?
Yes.
Yes.
Physics?
Physics.
How did physics get into this discussion? Not that I'm not. I mean,
Because-
if you have a question, I'd be happy to answer it. There's
I
something
said-
else I know a great deal about. But yes.
Stevie's dream day is to eat 2 Big Macs, okay? Because
Yes.
Stevie is greedy. He's the greediest person I've ever met. He's so greedy, right? Ridiculous. So, what I'm going to ask you is, right, because I've got a joke at the end of this, right? I'm not going to lie, John. I've got a joke at the end of this. But there's this poll, and this is my favourite extreme poll of all time because of the naivety of it. And it would be $1 billion, but you must go into CERN's Large Hadron Collider when it's on within the next 6 months.
No, what now?
You have to go into CERN's Large Hadron Collider, the LHR, in Switzerland.
No.
No, the young ears don't come here. Please don't. No, okay, we can't understand.
Sorry.
Okay.
Neither one of us. So let's see. Did you take scholarship in high school?
No.
I wish I'd studied more.
We should have employed a translator.
Okay. How about rephrasing the question using different verbs, adjectives, and nouns?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Meaning the same thing.
Okay. Let me try. In my $1 billion.
I got that part. Listen, if it's money, I never miss it. I heard $1 billion.
Right? But you must go inside CERN's Large Hadron Collider.
Okay, you have to go and say cells. What is it?
No, my accent. The large.
You have to go and say something.
No.
Oh, if I have to say something, fuck yes, I'll do it.
No.
You have to say something to the LHR. I think that's what it is.
I have to say something to who?
To the LHR, I believe that's what it is.
The Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland.
The Large Hadron Collider.
Yes.
I would never speak to anybody, even if they were Scottish, and could hear you perfectly to go, Large Hadron Collider, you know, Adrian's Wall. Because they're not exactly words that I use today, nor does most normal person.
John,
what about the Large Hadron Collider? I get that too.
$1 billion, but you must go inside the Large Hadron Collider.
Well, fuck no. Are you crazy? You can't spend money if you... What?
No?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Here's $1 billion, but we have to set fire to yourself. All right? And you can't put it out.
John.
I mean, I don't
John,
know.
if I told you...
No, I'm a businessman. I want how long between the receipt of the $1 billion and my requirement to go into the collider, because if it's
6
many
months.
years, I might take it, okay?
6 months.
6 months.
6 years?
Within
6 months.
6 months.
I only get 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get
So
I
6
get
months.
6 months to live to spend $1 billion. It's hard to spend $1 billion in 6
Yeah.
months. But that's unfair. You try it sometime, all right? But anyway, listen, I'll pass on that one.
Okay.
But thanks for the offer.
Well, the thing that I was going to say is that if we put Stevie inside the Large Hadron Collider, I think we would discover a new particle.
There's no doubt. With any of the three of us here, I think almost any Scotsman, there would be a new particle.
But I think
what its properties may be is anybody's guess. But yeah, I think so.
I think we would discover the greedy, selfish man particle from Stevie.
Yeah, I don't want to disabuse you of your superiority in terms of not being a selfish man, but I think all people only have one thing that they're interested in, and that is themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm not being cynical now. I don't mind that. I don't mind being in a world where everybody's interested in themselves, because you can still find mutual play and mutual benefit, mutual joy, provided their self-interest and your self-interest are in sync. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
It's called a good relationship. And that's what keeps marriages together and nations from tearing each other apart.
Perfect.
Hard to disagree.
Hard to disagree, John.
When do whatever.
We have time for one more question, gentlemen. My
No
apologies.
problem.
I've got a really busy schedule today.
No problem. This is a good one because this is a challenge, and actually it's topical because recently we've seen that there was a little bit of a thing online. But anyway, here it is. As clear as I can do it in my accent. $20 million but you must team up with Joe Rogan and fight the following: 1 lion and 1 tiger. You, John McAfee, and Joe Rogan, you will be given...
What weapons do we have? I mean, you haven't told me enough to make a decision.
We're getting there.
It's going.
You will be given a
What
pistol.
weapons do we have?
You'll be given a pistol, maybe a Walter PPK, with 6 bullets, a spear, and a baseball bat each.
Well, I'll take that.
Yes, yes, John, yes.
Wait. No, but hang on, let me finish, please. Because I know that I can sway Joe Rogan's thinking into, Joe, honestly, it's going to look bad if you have me help you in this fucking line. Because we all know you can take the motherfucker yourself. So yeah, I will take that. I'll just spend the 20 and Joe will get eaten alive. I have no problem.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant. Wow. And
Anyway, I've truly enjoyed it, and I want, in all sincerity, I wanted to thank you for not asking that aggravating question that everybody asked: did I eat those small children in Cincinnati in 1993?
Never.
And I've told everybody the same story. I was drunk, and I remember nothing. So there's no sense in
Bullshit.
Amazing. John, it's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely. There's one more question I want to ask you before you go onto your busy schedule.
Right.
$0, but you must come on the Extreme Polls podcast in 2020.
No, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Come, dude.
Pleasure.
All right.
Amazing, John. We really appreciate it.
Not to say, guys, you guys have been more fun than the average. That is the absolute truth.
And thank you, Janice, for your correspondence.
Hey, and if you're on any podcast, chat groups, anything like that, I'm feeling in a very, I don't know what this fucking mood is. I do 3 of these every fucking day.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'd much rather talk to people running podcasts than to someone on CNN or Fox or RTI, which I do, and annoys the shit about me, because I've had a real fucking conversation. And if anybody has been watching this, I mean, they're going to know nothing about whatever policies I've said, but they're going to know a little bit about who the fuck I am.
Exactly.
A little bit of my character. And you're not going to find that on any national media network ever again. So pass the word in, if you're in these chat groups, for people who run podcasts, that Mr. McAfee will, I don't care if you only have 2 viewers, I will sit down and talk to you. All right?
Sounds awesome. Thank you very much, John. Pleasure.
Thank you, John.
Pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
There you go. Extreme Polls with John McAfee. What a pleasure that was.